Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. B&B spoilers. Bill's specialist uncovers Liam's fake diagnosis, exposes Grace con. The Bold and the Beautiful B&B spoilers tease that Bill Spencer, Don Diamont, will take charge and hire specialists to take over Liam Spencer's, Scott Clifton, care. He doesn't trust Lee Finnegan, Naomi Matsuda, and Bridget Forrester, Ashley Jones, to find a cure for his son's inoperable brain tumor. Liam's condition is very serious right now. Not only is he battling a brain tumor, but he took a bullet to the chest to protect Steffi Forrester, Jacqueline Messins Wood. His doctors hope that he will make a full recovery, but his condition is far from stable. B&B spoilers state that Bill will decide to fire his doctors and bring in world-renowned specialists to take over Liam's care. When the specialists take over, it won't take long for them to figure out Liam's brain tumor is nothing but a con. Bill's specialist discovers Liam's fake diagnosis. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers state that Bill's specialists will run their own tests on Liam. They appreciate the work his doctors put into his care, but they want new scans to determine if his condition has changed. They are especially interested in seeing if his brain tumor has grown. The doctors will likely be confused when they don't see a mass in his brain. They cannot understand why his headaches and symptoms are increasing when they don't see any evidence of a brain tumor. After they run a battery of tests, they determine that Grace Buckingham, Cassandra Creech, misdiagnosed Liam. They further determined that the medication Grace prescribed could be the root cause of his dizzy spells, fatigue, and pounding headaches. Bill exposes Grace Buckingham's con. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers state that Bill cannot control his rage when he learns of Grace's incompetence. She trusted her judgment before, but to tell Liam he is dying when he wasn't crosses the line. Bill becomes obsessed with finding out if Grace purposely made his son sick, or if she merely misdiagnosed him. He might have his people look into Grace to determine if she has a reason for her action. B&B spoilers state that Bill's investigator discovers that Grace's actions are tied to her ex-husband, Reese Buckingham, Wayne Brady. Somehow that con man is forcing Grace to make his son sick with the toxic medication cocktail. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers state that Bill will take matters into his own hands, determined to save his son. Keep watching to see how it plays out. B&B fans, do you think Bill's specialists will discover Liam's misdiagnosis? Please share your thoughts with us in the comments section below. Remember to watch The Bold and the Beautiful, airing weekdays on CBS and streaming on Paramount+. Bill Spencer had learned long ago that trust was a currency far more dangerous than money. And recently his instincts were screaming that something wasn't right. His son Liam had been handed a shocking mental health diagnosis, a supposed dissociative identity disorder, after a series of erratic behaviors following his break from Hope. Everyone had bought into it, even Brooke and Steffi. But Bill, he smelled a rat. And the rat's name might just be Dr. Grace Buckingham. Grace had returned to LA under the guise of helping patients through compassionate therapy. Her renewed presence at Forrester Foundation events and whispered alliances with key players had gone mostly unnoticed until now. After all, the Buckingham name wasn't exactly untainted. Bill hadn't forgotten how Grace's daughter, Paris, had been involved in more than her share of family entanglements, or that Grace had once tried to manipulate Zend and Carter's love lives. But this time, it seemed the manipulation had taken a much darker turn. After weeks of watching Liam spiral, complete with sudden outbursts, paranoid declarations, and mysterious blackouts, Bill had hired his own team of specialists from Europe, discreet, elite, and answerable only to him. His top expert, Dr. Alana Crestfield, had quietly reviewed Liam's records, therapy sessions, and even sat in on an unannounced visit under the pretense of an insurance evaluator. What she uncovered made Bill's blood boil. Liam isn't mentally ill, Dr. Crestfield stated flatly, her accent sharp and her tone unforgiving. The diagnosis was fabricated. The notes were doctored, the symptoms inconsistent, and several sessions appear to have been scripted. Bill growled, his fists clenched. Yes, as if someone coached Liam into behaving a certain way. But he's not acting alone. Dr. Buckingham has manipulated everything: therapy notes, medication suggestions, even the referral for inpatient observation. It's a textbook case of Munchausen by proxy, but through psychological means. Bill's jaw set into a stony scowl. Why would Grace do this? What's the angle? Dr. Crestfield's lips curled in mild disdain. Power. Control. Possibly money. But I suspect there's something more personal here. She's isolating Liam for a reason. Bill knew what he had to do. Liam had moved into a smaller, more secluded home on the outskirts of Beverly Hills, per Dr. Buckingham's recommendation. He claimed the isolation helped with his recovery, though anyone who knew Liam could see he was growing more confused by the day. Steffi had started to pull back from visiting. Hope wouldn't return his calls. He was a man unmoored, and that made him the perfect puppet. Armed with the truth, Bill stormed into Liam's home one early morning, flanked by Dr. Crestfield and a private investigator. Liam, pale and disheveled, opened the door wearing mismatched slippers and a lost expression. Dad, you're not supposed to be here. Dr. Buckingham says I need quiet. She's been lying to you, son, Bill said, pushing past him. Liam blinked. What? You're not sick. You never were. You've been conned into believing you're mentally unstable so someone else could control your every move. Dr. Crestfield stepped forward, holding up Liam's medical records. These have been tampered with. You're not losing your mind, Mr. Spencer. You're being manipulated. Liam looked at the papers with trembling hands, confusion giving way to dawning horror. But Grace said I was dangerous. She said I dissociated during the night and yelled at Hope's voicemail like I was Thomas. Bill's eyes narrowed. That wasn't dissociation. That was someone gaslighting you and feeding your insecurities. Think about it. Why would she focus on Thomas? Why isolate you now when you're vulnerable? She's been targeting your weakness. That's when the trap finally made sense. Grace had been circling Ridge lately, attending the same charity events, pretending to offer emotional support for his ongoing family drama. If she could position Liam as unfit, she might sway custody concerns, or worse, build a case that Liam was dangerous to his daughter, Beth. That could curry favor with Ridge, Brooke, or the Forresters. Grace always knew how to play a long game. Bill turned to Liam, whose eyes were wide with fury and shame. We're going to fix this. I'm taking this evidence to the medical board. Grace Buckingham is done. And you, Liam, you're going to get your life back. But Bill wasn't done. The next day, he scheduled a press release through Spencer Publications, exposing the scandal while remaining vague enough to avoid legal pushback, for now. Meanwhile, Grace was blindsided. She received a summons to appear before a disciplinary committee, and her medical license was immediately suspended pending investigation. She confronted Bill at El Giardino, fury flashing in her eyes. You think you've won, she hissed. I don't think I know, Bill replied, icy. You came after my son. That's a line you don't cross. Liam needed help. No, he needed truth, something you clearly don't believe in. You manipulated a man into thinking he was mentally broken for your own sick agenda. I don't care what your reason was, you're going down. As Grace stormed out, eyes burning with humiliation and rage, Ridge happened to walk in. He raised an eyebrow at Bill, who simply tipped his drink. You'll want to check who you've been sharing cocktails with lately, Ridge, Bill said cryptically. Turns out not everyone around here is as charitable as they claim. In the fallout, Liam slowly began to rebuild. With real therapy, this time from Dr. Crestfield, he processed the trauma of being emotionally exploited. Hope cautiously opened the lines of communication again, and even Steffi paid him a visit to show her support. But the true hero of the unraveling wasn't just Bill. It was his unyielding instinct that when something stinks in LA, it usually involves someone trying to steal more than hearts.